afternoon, Coolest Coast. It's time for Coffee with Kristin and Tina. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this episode of Coffee with Kristin and Tina. We're your hosts. This is Kristin Odell. I'm Tina Prigge. So happy to see you at noon on a Friday.
I know. This is LaCroix with Kristin and Tina.
Right. When we say coffee, we mean that loosely. You could be enjoying any beverage, any kind of snacks. Coffee more implies that we're just having this kind of casual chat, is my thought.
That's right. Coffee chat. My coffee cup is still in my office, but you can see it's pretty empty.
Do you reuse the coffee cup over and over without washing it, or do you wash it every time?
On the same day, yes. Day to day, no. How about you?
Oh no, I always wash it. Yeah. Yeah, right. Throughout the day, I might use the same one, but I would definitely wash it. But I feel like when I was in fifth grade, I had a teacher that had a coffee mug, and that coffee mug had its own scent and its own like permanent rings. Like I remember almost having a fear of this coffee cup and thinking, I'm never drinking coffee because that is gross. I think that cup maybe never got washed, is my theory.
That was my father. My father he would rinse it, but he never, we would get in trouble if we washed the cup. Yeah,
Is
he
it
said
like
it gave,
seasoned?
yeah, exactly. He called it the seasoning. It was well seasoned and it made for better flavor. And he
Interesting.
had this old melamine cup that had this like great kind of plaid pattern on it that actually came out of the set of dishes that were in our camper. He just had one in the house that had a little, white handle. And yeah, it had a very distinct brown ring in the bottom of it. And he drank coffee out of it all day long. He'd give it a quick rinse at night, and then it was ready for the next day.
And so that was his cup, like nobody else drank out of that cup.
100%.
Okay, so
And
you
he
said you
was,
washed. Oh, he was.
go ahead.
No, no, you go.
I was just going to say he was buried with his cup. Like it was his cup, so it had to go with him.
Do you guys have cups like that in your house currently? Like, is there a cup where like this is my coffee cup?
No, I use all different ones.
I use different ones, but there's a few that I feel like if somebody else was using it, I'd be like, oh, that's mine.
How dare you use my coffee cup?
And there shouldn't really be that attachment. I can't figure out why I have that attachment to it. It doesn't say my name. It's not anything special like that, but
Yes, I do not have any cups that I feel that way about. They kind of all hang on oh, I'm ringing. They all hang on a rack, and like if we have people come over and we're having coffee, like I just grab them or I ask if there's one that appeals to them, and so
I remember when we were growing up, there was a set of silverware in my parents' silverware drawer that was distinctly different from the actual set of silverware. And it kind of had like a scroll work, like a floral pattern or something. And sometimes my brother and I would get into arguments over who got to use, like, why? It didn't work any better or differently than the other spoons and forks, but there's just, because it had that different pattern, we'd like jostle for who got to use it.
um, how did you typically resolve that?
I think my mom just eventually chucked it in the garbage and said no one gets to use it because, it's so annoying when kids argue, right?
So this like brings up a really good point. So I probably would be like, that's it, I'm getting rid of it, or I'm hiding it, or whatever. But I just started a new women's Bible study on trust on Wednesday, which was really cool. I met 23 other incredible women, which is just like it's good to have a community and it's good to meet new people.
Definitely.
And the way that they decided, like we start in a big group, but then we split off into groups of 8. And the way they decide how to get in those groups is she picked slips the other night. She put everybody's name in a bowl and she just picked them out, and whatever group you got in is what you got in. And I grew up picking slips, and we utilize picking slips pretty frequently in our house to resolve issues.
That's
So
very smart.
this question is coming into my brain now. Like, do you think as adults we could pick slips to resolve issues?
By picking slips, yeah. Right?
Or does picking slips only apply for like low risk things? Like who gets to use the weird fork?
Or who gets to be in a certain group. Um, I don't know, what would be an example of something high risk that you can envision picking slips for? And so we can determine whether it might not work or work.
Uh, which political party is going to be in office?
Isn't that essentially what we do? Because
Well, I mean, we get to vote though. We get to choose who we vote for. Picking
Mm.
slips is like the names are in, and we're just going to pick one, and whoever gets it is who gets it.
Oh, interesting. Honestly, if it worked that way, might there not be less division?
I mean, maybe, maybe we're onto something here. How about in a business meeting where you said, okay, there's two slips in the bowl. One has an X on it, one doesn't. If you pick the one with the X, you get the deal, and if not, then we're gonna have to carry on and find somebody else.
Oh, oh, hmm. I mean, that could have some negative ramifications because if you're trying to do a deal of some sort, that's not typically arbitrary, right? Like that's based on certain metrics and input and outcomes and
Right. Or your
criteria.
performance,
Yeah,
your reputation, right?
right.
Right.
But I mean, I could see picking slips in a business meeting if it was, there are certain presentations to be given, who's going to go first or what order.
Yes.
Or I
Yeah.
could see it working in a classroom too, right? Like rather than raising your hand and arbitrarily picking people, if it was like, oh, okay, person A is going to go, oh, person B is going to go.
Yeah. So all the names would be in, and okay, this is the person that has to answer the first math question today.
Okay, Barbara Walsh says, me and my sisters would fight over a pair of ice skates that were double bladed, and we always wanted to use those.
How did you decide, Barb?
Yeah. Was picking slips ever a factor? It also
Maybe.
leads me to believe why, if you have multiple kids, would you ever have just one of something kind of special? Right? Because if some sort of special meaning or attachment is associated to something,
Yeah.
of course everyone's going to want it. And then there's going to be some sort of
I love it.
consternation, right?
So I listened to this great podcast this morning. It's a Simon Sinek podcast. It's Which of This incredible relationship expert and therapist. She does like marriage counseling and family therapy. It's on LinkedIn and Facebook if you're looking for it. They were talking about how important this like play and figuring out the hierarchy is for little kids, and how like kind of the knockout drag out fights and like the letting them figure out how to make something work is actually so beneficial for them as they carry on into adulthood, because they know how to problem solve and they know how to like when to step up and when to step back, and what, there's just things. And in a lot of cases now we take the opportunity for them to learn that away from them. So whether we're helicopter parents or we're going to get 5 sets of ice skates so nobody ever has to fight about anything, we take that opportunity away for them to like figure it out or take a turn.
Yeah, Barb says, my mother made us each take a turn. Excellent. Well, and so sometimes I think that stepping in and helping kids understand the tools available to them to resolve something, right? Like how can you handle this without it coming to fisticuffs, right? Like that's
Yes.
that's the big thing I want to avoid, right?
Yes. But yeah, learning those skills, like, maybe we're doing more harm than good by, intervening, is interesting stuff.
It is interesting stuff. Okay, so here's an example of where picking slips wouldn't work. Sports games, right?
I would just like to say that I'm very thankful that my name showed up on a list or got picked. This was not last night, although last night was another great Packer win. This was Sunday at the season opener. Oh my gosh, so much fun.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah.
And it was
Blue
beautiful
skies,
weather.
great fan. It's so comfort. It was perfect jeans and a hoodie weather. And we just had such an incredible experience. It was so much fun.
Open Door Counseling said, and the essence of happiness for others having something good.
Yeah. Yeah, having a turn with it. Yeah, thanks. That's our friend Wendy. 100%. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I mean, so we actually went with some Lions fans.
Oh,
The invite to go to the game was with them, right? So we're like, "Ooh, we don't know if we can hang out with Lions fans." But the game was fabulous, and they were such good sports about being in the stands and just having a good time, and, I mean, it was just a really incredible game. I'm super excited for this Packers season.
yeah, yeah, it's a really exciting team. So we watched it last night as a family, the 3 of us, and it was kind of funny because when that football doinked off of the uprights, that was, like, the loudest reaction.
Yes. It was like, did you make your own doinking sound like, "Oh!" Right? And then not only that, but it happened a second time. The Commanders had their own doink.
I know, I know. And I can't remember the last time I ever saw that in a game I was watching. Like, you always kind of anticipate it's gonna happen, and it never does.
I know. Isn't that funny? Yeah. A lot of penalties last night. They probably got yelled at after the game for that. Um, but a win's a win, and it's fun to see them playing so well. And I think like this feels like the first time in a while where there's just been a lot of excitement and energy. Like you can see it and feel it even on the field.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Do you think you'll be going to more Packer games this
I
season?
mean, I hope so. I mean, we don't have like season tickets or anything like that, and buying resale gets pricey. But yeah, I'm
Mm,
hopeful that we have at least one more in our future. That would be great.
nice. Are the girls becoming Packer fans? Do they pay attention?
Our girls are all fans. I mean, we love sitting around like you said, it's really a family affair. Um, I'm trying to think about. We took Josie and Nora to a preseason game last year, so they've been in the stadium. They got to see it. I don't think Grace is gone yet, so
Yeah.
maybe we'll have a moment for that. But
I wouldn't necessarily typically sit down and watch a game, but Teek specifically said last night, like, "Hey," well, and he had his tonsils out, so he can't actually speak this week, and so everything is he's texting it and then using a voice translator. So this female voice said, "Hey, could we all watch the game as a family?" And it was too precious to pass up. So I'm
is
really glad.
he purposely not talking just to kind of like protect and recover, or is it just that it's so sore he can't?
It is so excruciatingly painful. And that's what the nurses said. They said it's as bad as it is right now after the surgery, day 3 through 5 is going to get even worse. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, poor
I
guy.
do remember Nora had her tonsils out. She was quite a bit smaller than Teak is. But I remember them really promoting Tylenol and ibuprofen rotated on a very regular schedule for like that first like 10 days. Like,
Yeah.
don't let up on it, keep on top of it. And
I'm
of course,
surprised. I had no idea it would take so long. I was thinking it was like, oh, out and done, right?
yes. Yeah. Well, hopefully he feels better. What is the food of choice since he had that done?
Just before we started this, I saw him at the table with a big thing of ice cream. But you can only do so much that's sweet. So
Yeah.
he's also been like grandma made him a mac and cheese with peas, but it was all kind of mushed up. So it
Yeah.
almost just looked like this green glob, but he said that was good.
Mac and cheese, mashed potatoes,
Right.
pudding, maybe
Yeah,
even
he's been eating a lot pudding. Yeah. I don't think he's done any broth yet. I think he's worried about the temperature.
so warm is not as good as cold.
Yeah. And then they said, don't eat anything with red dye. And I thought, oh, because the red dye is not good for you. And no, it's because it can make it look like your throat is bleeding. That red can
Got it. Okay, so no red popsicles.
no red popsicles, no red jello.
Mhm. Interesting.
Yeah. Hey,
Fun.
Barb commented, she said, the Packer team, it's a young team and they're hungry to win.
Yes. Yeah, I'm excited. You know, I grew up in the 90s with Reggie White being just a huge presence, right?
Yeah.
He's like a really good guy. And so I'm a big fan of defensive football. Like I get excited when there's sacks and they're blitzing and they're forcing things to happen on the field. And like I see that. And I looked at Doug when we were there on Sunday and I'm like, this season is just gonna be so much fun because I can just see that they're gonna just bring the pressure and bring the pressure and bring the pressure. It's really fun.
Yeah. I really enjoy watching them interact too. Like, I don't know if it's just me projecting this onto our team, but I feel like our players always support each other. Like when one guy does something great, you see them all kind of celebrating it along with him, right? And I feel like our team is also very well behaved. Like when I watch them play the Lions, some of the moves that the like I know they were getting penalties for some of it, but
Hmm.
some of the like the strong arms and the face grabs and things like that, I'm like, guys, that's like just not even good sportsmanship. And
Right.
I feel like I see that more on other teams like the Lions or the Commanders versus the Packers.
I do think that is a franchise expectation. They set a good example. You're owned by the community. You need to behave like you're part of the community. I think that's like an organizational expectation, which we love, obviously.
Yeah.
I just thought of something really cool. I got it right here. So, one of the prized possessions that my dad handed down to me is this original Reggie White candy bar.
What? What kind of a candy bar is a Reggie White candy bar?
It is peanuts and caramel
Ooh.
sacked in milk chocolate. Um, and it says, devotion to your beliefs is the highest form of loyalty. How great is
Beautiful.
that?
Nice.
So it sits in a Ziploc because it was getting a little,
So you have no plans to ever eat that?
no, oh no, don't think that would be a good choice right now. I think that would probably make me ill. Is It is an antique at this point.
Nice.
It's in my office and it keeps me company. Yeah.
Hey, one thing I have been trying to do lately is to say yes to things, right? Like it's very easy to say no to something like if it puts you out of your comfort zone or Mary said nice says a lot, especially today.
That's great.
But like, so putting myself out of my comfort zone, especially, because I need accommodations for things, right? And so it's so easy to just be like, no, I'm going to pass. No, no, no. So I'm really trying hard to say yes. And so a friend recently said, hey, crazy idea. There's this Japanese art exhibit down in the Chicago suburbs. Want to go? And at first I was like, no. And then I'm like, but I would love to, right? So I'm like, wait, hold on. So
Yes, but
I
no, but yes,
checked and
but no.
the museum was accessible and everything. So I'm like, okay. And Jason's like, yes, let's do it. Let's try. So we went down and it was, they had an original woodblock print of the Hokusai Great Wave.
So
And
cool.
surprisingly, like, look how small it is, right? Like, you see all these recreations and things. And then it was also not nearly as vibrant as some of the recreations that you see. And so it was fascinating. And because it's a
Interesting.
woodblock print, there are maybe 100 to 200 that they estimate still in existence. So now I'm interested to know, like, was this like a test, right? Like, were they just testing some of the colors or, like I've
Is
just,
there a way to find that out?
I don't know. Yeah, right. Like it just opened up all these questions, and I'm sure there is. And so I want to
Okay,
know more.
so you sent me this picture last night, and my first thought was, who took the picture? Because
The guard. There was a guard sitting there. I'm like, could we just trouble you to take this picture of us enjoying the picture?
you're like contemplating the art. You all look very like in tune with the art.
And
Yeah,
I thought it was important kind of to show the scale, right? Like that this is just like a very manageable sized piece of art.
right. It is cool when you see things like Jason's done a version of that right on the side of a building
Right.
in our Great Lakes version, and it was huge.
Huge, right.
So like to see that is kind of like, huh? What? Love that. Tell us more about the museum. So I think you have a couple of other pictures, but like if somebody wanted to go down there, what can they expect or what would it be like?
It is a super cool exhibit. One thing to know, it closes September 21st. So
Okay.
apparently it opened way back in January. I hadn't heard anything of it until my friend mentioned it. But so now it's closing, right, on September 21st. So if you want to go, got to go now. It is a really cool exhibit. It had all sorts of historical information about the artists working during that time, the type of art, how it inspired Western artists. So apparently, like back in the era when they were making the woodblock prints, Japan was pretty closed, but what the West was appreciating from Japan was pottery. And so
Mm,
there was a shipment of pottery going from Japan to someplace in Europe. And to help package it, they stuffed in this book of woodblock prints to help keep the pottery safe. Well, when that arrived in Europe, somebody that was doing the unpacking was like, "What? What is this? Look at how cool this is." And it just totally exploded in Europe, this appreciation for woodblock prints. So
oh,
isn't that funny? Like the packaging itself, like
that's
opened this whole, yeah. So
incredible. Tell us, okay, maybe I'm speaking for the unknowledgeable here, but if what is wood block print?
okay, so they would actually take this block of wood and like carve into it in reverse the image that they wanted. And then they would lay the paint down on the wood block and then have to lay the paper over and like scrub over it and get the different layers of color.
Interesting. So they would potentially be reproducing it,
Right,
just
which is why there could be up to 200 of the originals still
sure,
around.
and variations in color and just shape and the way the lines hit the paper.
Yeah, exactly right. Like, are there some where it's a little kitty wampus or something?
Right.
Or, yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
And so then there was the actual exhibit of these historic art pieces. But then they also like everywhere that you went through the exhibit, they had a little stamp book. So in Japan, when you visit different like temples or stations, a lot of times they have stamps and you can collect these stamps. So they had a book that you could do that as you were going through the exhibit. And then they had different pockets of other highlights of Japanese culture.
Mm,
So there was they converted the stage. It was this is a college gallery, so they had the stage at the college, and it was this whole walkthrough of like a historic village with mannequins and things like that. Or they had a whole anime section. They had a like a kids art section where you could fold origami, and it was just really well done. So this is an example of the anime
that's cute.
area. It was all done in 2D, so it felt kind of like you were in the pages of this magazine.
Right. And is Jason holding something there, or just tell us a little bit about how this piece pops out from there?
Yeah, so it is something that you can hold in your hand. You can see he set down his cane in the corner to pick it up,
Yeah.
and it's like a Hadouken power. So from Dragon Ball, you can like send these like big bursts of power, and so this was sort of so you could replicate that.
That was so fun. Okay, you have one more of these that I think is a little bit more humorous and just, showing
Hold
real life.
on. Mary said, "Love it," and yes, let me show you this. So they had a sword, so you could kind of recreate the Demon Slayer, which is a very popular anime. And so our friend Brian was like, "Wait, can I pretend like I'm cutting your leg off?" And I was like, "Why? Why not? Right? Like, why not?"
I feel like your bionic arm should be able to stop that sword from coming through.
That would probably be in the
Jason's
next episode.
Jason's face also in this, he looks like he's on the commuter train just hanging out next to you, and all of a sudden there's somebody there slaying.
We had so much fun. We took a picture where he like was sneaking up on us from behind. So we were like, just oops, sorry. So we were like just sitting on the bench having a good time, and there he is in the background, like ready to wield his sword.
So I'm hearing that you learned a lot. It's a really cool display, and you had time to play.
Exactly. So it was just so good on all the levels.
Yes,
And none of
that's
that would have happened if I hadn't said yes, right? Like I had to just like embrace that opportunity.
yeah. Yep. I think that we have to be willing to put ourselves out there and risk a little bit and kind of push our boundaries. And I feel like every time we do that, it ends up being fun, or we end up learning something, or like very rarely is it an awful experience.
Right, right.
So go for it this weekend.
Go for it. Right. What can you say yes to that might be a good opportunity in your life that you might otherwise, of course, it's always easier, right, to say, ah,
Right.
pass. But
What will
yeah.
you say yes to this weekend, Tina?
Well, another opportunity came up. And again, I was like, oh, I don't know. But it was to tour the Kohler Chocolate Factory. Like they make their own original chocolates. And I thought, oh my God, my wheelchair in a factory. They're like, nope, nope. We can accommodate you. It's accessible. Like, come on. And they were so encouraging. And I thought, well, if they don't think it's going to put them out that I'm in a wheelchair, why not try? Like Jason and I were humming Willy Wonka the whole day. Like,
I was like, I can't even imagine the smells.
I know, right? And so, like, first of all, we walk in and this is what greets us, right? Like this happy, smiling guy. Like, we're like, okay, this is all going to be so cool.
Yes.
And, they gave us this full tour. We got to see these beautiful, incredible chocolates that they're making, hear the history of how it started out. Apparently, Herb Kohler himself had a real sweet tooth, and that's how he got involved in chocolates in the first place.
Yeah.
Mary, by the way, said, I said yes a couple of years ago to jumping out of a plane, totally out of my comfort level. But Mary, so worth it, right?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean, this looks like, I want to say this looks like a scotcheroo in a gourmet chocolate form, but it also could just be like peanuts or cashews or something amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't get to try it. I really wanted to, but these weren't packaged for sale yet.
I
So,
bet not. Yeah.
and then look at this one. Look at this caramel apple. So it's like dipped in caramel and then chocolate, and then it's like got glitter gold paint, and then it's like they're works of art.
So, in case you're wondering, this is located, you can go and get chocolate. The chocolate store is at the Inanwook Lake, the store is there.
Yes.
And you can go in and purchase them. You can sample them. One time, Doug and I had this huge, like Reese's peanut butter or something or other, amazing, like a huge like thing. And we got coffees and just sat down and just like super cool space.
Yeah, that's right. They have coffee too. So yeah, it was a perfect complement to the chocolate.
Yes. And if you are not local, but you're like, hey, can I get my hands on that chocolate? Because it's really good. You can order them online. They have an online store also.
Oh, yes. Yeah, they do. They do. I think it's kohlerchocolates.com, if I'm not mistaken. But if you just search for Kohler chocolates.
If I think about it later, I'll drop it in the comments.
Okay.
So you can find it. But yeah, one time we bought this little box and it was like all these just very unique and very beautiful chocolates, but all different things that like in a traditional chocolate bar or even in local chocolate stores you don't get. And we had so much, we tried like cutting them in half so we could share them and just getting to sample like things that are spicy or crunchy or unexpected in a chocolate. And it was just really, really fun.
Yeah, I really appreciated that actually about the chocolatiers is that they seem to be, reimagining what sort of flavors you can all put together and really having fun with that.
It's a very Willy Wonka thing.
Yeah, it's totally Willy Wonka.
Was there any wallpaper that you could lick there?
I didn't even think about it. Oh, I missed my chance.
Did the snozberries taste like snozberries?
I was very cautious not to touch anything, right? Like,
I
we
bet.
had the hairnets on, and I just did not want to like, oh, suddenly this whole batch is ruined because Tina licked her finger, like.
You fell in the chocolate vat. Yeah, what a cool experience. I'm so happy that, not only are these experiences becoming available for you, but that you're saying yes to them. And I think I might have sent this to you, but I just learned this week. I have a friend whose husband is in a wheelchair, and they just went on this state park camping experience in the state of Wisconsin, fully accessible cabins and like medical beds and shower benches and the whole deal. And they have just waited for years to be able to get back to camping as a family. And they were able to do it finally this weekend after being on the waiting list. And I just think like, I love that. I love that there's things that I've never known about that are popping on my radar now. And I sent her a note and said, like, I am so happy because camping means so much to me and our family. And so it's just really, really cool to see about these accessible experiences that like I had no idea.
Right? And so were they on a waiting list specifically for the accessible cabins?
Yes.
So
Yes,
there's a
because they
demand for them, right? Like
yes.
that's cool.
There is a demand. There's 10 cabins in the state of Wisconsin, as far as I understand. I didn't get a chance to research it a lot, but yeah, you have to you submit an application. You put, 4 dates that you're available, and like you just have to like kind of wait for your turn to come up. And they were fortunate to get picked and had just a beautiful time. But yeah, everything is paved around these cabins, and it's very open, and all the cabinets are open underneath so that he can whatever do help wash dishes or help prepare food or whatever. So pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, I love that you sent that to me. So, speaking of camping, are you camping in this picture or is this your backyard?
Wouldn't it be great if I was camping? No, I'm not camping. This is last Friday night. Um, there was a Friday night football game at Lincoln, and there are foreign exchange students here from Spain right now that are being hosted by Lincoln High School students. And
Oh,
so, to make this long story short, some of my daughter's friends are hosting students, and they asked if they could come over after the football game, and then the rest of the students that were here wanted to come, and then their host students wanted to come. So this was our Friday night last night, or last not last night, I'm sorry, last Friday. Isn't this
so
awesome?
I love this photo, but okay, see in the top left corner, there's a fire with other people. Is that a reflection of the main one that we're seeing, or is that another fire?
No, we had two fire pits.
What?
Because we learned like Thursday night, this is probably, you guys are gonna laugh. We learned Thursday night that like the list was 9, and then it was like 20, and then it was like 40 kids. And thankfully the weather was like going to be good, and I'm like, you guys have to be outside. And so we have a solo stove on our patio, which works really good for like grilling hot dogs and marshmallows and stuff. And so we were like, and by the way, Europeans do not know what a s'more is. They do not do campfires. Like, this is way out of context of anything that they're familiar with. And so we lit the fire on the patio so that they could grill hot dogs and s'mores and like hang out. But then we have another one that is, we kind of call it our hillbilly fire pit. It's literally like an 8 foot wide junk pile that we throw branches and sticks on. And so Doug actually picked up pallets around town. Thank you to all the businesses that leave pallets out. And so we had two fire pits going just so the kids could like spread out and have a place to hang out. But you talk about making your mom, like your mom heart happy. Like, I knew where my kid was. These were great kids and great students from Spain. And I think the most unexpected thing was, first of all, the somebody was playing on our playset the entire night, going down the swing, playing on the swings and going down the slide, which I
I
did not.
imagine that's maybe not European either. Like, I can't think of a shot of a European house in a film or anything where there's a playset.
Yeah, or even just like a playground. I don't know. But it made me think, like, should there be bigger playgrounds at our high schools? Like, do they really still want to play and we've taken it away from them?
Yeah, I think so.
So that was the first thing. I was like, why are they on the swing set? Like, what the heck? It was awesome. And the other thing is, the European students totally wanted to like line dance and dance. And so they had music going probably for the last like hour and a half, definitely. They were dancing on our patio and just having a wonderful time. It was just like wholesome, but just really good.
And this international experience, and you showed our guests, our international guests, a good time. They're gonna remember that forever. Oh,
Yeah.
it's just amazing all around.
I know. So I know your love and flair for the international scene, and it was really special to be able to just very in an unexpected way kind of be a host site to welcome them to Manitowoc and give them, when I chat GBT'd, we have high school students visiting from Europe. What are must do's with these students? The number
Yeah.
one thing was taking them to a football game, which I think is crazy, which is what they did. And then there was like giving them the American food experience. So burgers and milkshakes and that kind of stuff. And then in the third section, it said s'mores are like a must. They don't know what they are. Like, I was like, yeah, we're hitting a home run here with these kids.
You're like, "This is my jam. I got this."
Got it. I don't care what it costs to host s'mores and marshmallows and have a fire. It was worth every penny.
So do you think Grace's interest is being piqued in possibly being an exchange student at some point?
I don't know. That's a really great question. I would love for her to do that at some point. She definitely has. She told us last night, she's like, I want to go to Boston for school. And we're like, we should look at what that costs. um, but I would love for her at some point to, I mean, she's taking Spanish at Lincoln. And so I don't know whether it's something in the Spanish realm or like taking advantage of the Japanese trip, every year. I just would love to see her. I think she would love that experience. I'd love that for her.
I heard from one of the students that participated in the Japan trip this summer that the students, they had such a good time the students keep in touch daily. They have a Snapchat streak going, right, since this summer, and that some of them, like, weekly will still get online and play, video games together, and it just impacted them so deeply, right? It's just such a powerful connection.
Yeah. Well, and I think they have a lot of experiences together that are, like you're living in somebody else's, so you become part of that family for that window of time. So these students that are here from Spain, they're with their host families for 2 weeks and they're with these students. And, it's like a real, you get homesick probably, I'm sure. And, it's just that deep connection you have an experience together. And I think it's lovely in the age of technology that they have ways to keep in touch.
Yeah, that's another thing that she said that I thought was really precious. She said now when she looks at a world map, she doesn't just see Wisconsin, she also looks for Japan because those are the 2 places in the world where her family is.
Oh, oh my gosh.
I know, right?
Oh, that's so great. That is great. Yeah.
Right.
So we can keep representing Manitowoc, Wisconsin in the very best way and
Yeah.
make it
Well, talking about great, Kristen, this has been great talking to you at noon on a Friday. I loved it.
time goes so fast. It went really fast today.
Yeah, I'm looking at the clock and I can't believe that it's telling me 36 minutes have actually elapsed. Like, what? Where did the time go?
For those of you watching, Tina and I decided before the show that while we get a lot done in the mornings, our brains might be a little bit faster processing for this conversation at noon. So
Yeah. Yeah.
there might be something to that, but
Yeah, let us know if you enjoyed seeing this at noon on a Friday.
yeah, I
Okay.
love it. Have a great
Kristen,
weekend. Go out there and take a risk.
yes, yes, go and say yes to something.
Say yes. Just say
All
yes.
right. It's been great chatting with you, Kristen.
Bye, hun.
Thank
Have a
you,
great day.
everyone. You've been watching Coffee with Kristen and Tina. This is Kristen Odell. I'm Tina Prigge. We'll see you next time on Coffee with Kristen and Tina.
Bye,
Bye,
guys.
everyone.